All right, so it's been a long time since kind of the last update on what's been going on with us. Few reasons why, but the biggest overall reason is just that life happens. It's been a crazy year, lots of good things and some not so good things that have happened this year. And I just wanted to take a minute and kind of update. I'm going to do, since I'm on summer break, I'm going to do kind of a series of videos, kind of just giving more of a detailed description of the things that have been going on. This video is just going to kind of be a little bit of me just doing an overview of kind of what all has happened this past year. Starting with, I mentioned in, I think, my last video, which was over a year ago, that we were moving back to our home state, and that has happened. I am teaching 3rd grade and I love it. My husband's back at a job there he was previously, and he's enjoying it. It's been a really good experience for both of us. It's wonderful being closer to family and friends that we had left behind for a few years, and so it's been nice. We have a wonderful new doctor that we're seeing that is helping us through this process. He's a reproductive endocrinologist, so this is his specialty, so it's a fertility specialist that we're going to now. It started way back last summer in July. We had our first consultation with him and just kind of getting established kind of where we were at, what we could do, and a game plan. He took a look, he jumped right in to the appointment, wanted to take a look at what was going on inside my ovaries. His exact words were that I had majorly polycystic ovaries, which is not something new to us. We were prepared to hear that. In his opinion, the best thing to do in that situation was going for an ovarian diathermy, which is also known as ovarian drilling, and that is exactly what it sounds like. Because we had to wait for insurance and things to switch over, we actually didn't go through with that process until September. But in September, I went through an ovarian diathermy, and they put you under. They use a tool to drill holes, burn holes into your ovaries. The idea is that it kind of will jumpstart your ovaries into ovulating and working. I had not been previously successful with any oral medications up to the highest dosage, and they just weren't working in the past, and so he thought that with this surgery it would give my body the best chance to be receptive to those medications and for them to work. And so we did that in September, and I'll do a video all about that another time to go into detail on how that went. But we did that. We started right after that with just a medicated cycle. As soon as my cycle came back, we tried out the letrozole or Femara, and I did that about 3 months. We tried that, and I was ovulating, but nothing was happening. We weren't successful. And so the doctor kind of said, you know, you've been doing this for almost 5 years. Enough is enough. Let's pull out the big guns and let's go to IVF, if that's okay with you guys. And so we were a little nervous, a little apprehensive, just knowing what the expense was going to be, the emotional kind of toll that it would take, and then the physical kind of side of it that was going to happen. So we were nervous, but we were also excited that we were, you know, on a faster track to where we wanted to be. And so we agreed to that. And we started the process of IVF in January with doing the stemming, which is stimulating your ovaries into producing lots of eggs. And that process I can go into further later, but it's lots of shots in the belly and lots of doctor's appointments to check on things, which is a good thing. But we went through that, and they did the egg retrieval in the middle of January. I think I want to say like January 11th-ish, I feel like, is the day we did the egg retrieval. So we got 10 eggs total from that. Now, he didn't want to overstimulate because you can get an overstimulation syndrome, which is not good. You swell up really big. It hurts to go to the bathroom. In some cases you can't go to the bathroom and you get really bloated. It's just a worst case scenario thing. So he didn't want to do that. And so we kind of did a lower dosage of everything, got the 10 eggs, which was good for what we did. And unfortunately, I got the OHSS anyways. So it was kind of a bummer. It wasn't a whole lot of fun. I can go into a video about that later. But that's kind of what happened. He did say, based on everything, and because my OHSS wasn't too terrible, that we could go ahead and do a fresh transfer, which just means the embryo that we used was not frozen. They took one and they implanted it. Now, I had said that I had 10 eggs total. Of those, 8 made it to the next stage, and of those 8, we had 4 that fertilized and became good embryos. And so for the fresh transfer, we used 1 embryo. That was kind of the doctor's kind of idea. He says, you know, the goal is 1 healthy baby, because obviously multiples cause complications. So we got 1 healthy embryo, and we did a fresh transfer. Looking back, I probably should have waited, but just listened to what my body was telling me. But I kind of was, you know, anxious to get this show on the road, and, you know, and the doctor says it was okay. I was, you know, okay with trying it. So we did. We implanted the first embryo, and that implantation the transfer we did January 17th of this year. And it did not work. And I was sad, I was disappointed, but I wasn't devastated, because I kind of just had a feeling. I knew the whole time. I was like, my body isn't well, it's not receptive, I just know it's not going to take. Even though I was really hopeful it would, I was just prepared. So it didn't work out that time, and I was okay. So we went back and we wanted to try again. They were very positive that we could go through and try in February. So in February, we started the process of taking the hormones. I went in for my first ultrasound, and my ovaries were a mess. They were still really swollen, and it was kind of a big mess. And they said, you know, it's just not wise to try right now with the state that your reproductive organs are in. And I agreed. So we went on birth control for a little while to calm everything down, and go back and try again when everything had calmed down. We were able to go in and try again on March 16th. So March 16th is the day after my husband's birthday. So we went to the city where we have to go to do all of this. It's a 2-hour drive. We went ahead and went up there a day early. We kind of celebrated his birthday. It was great. We were in just such a happy mood on the way to the transfer. You know, it was just a positive overall, just a completely different experience. A frozen transfer, all you do is take the hormones, and you have to do the progesterone shots. So we had that part of it, but other than that, it's not a physically grueling process. It's not as painful as going through the egg retrieval and all that. So the frozen transfer, it was just a great experience. It was a better overall experience. And we were just so positive. We felt good about it. I kind of just knew that it was going to work. Even before we did it, I just had a feeling. I was like, this is going to be the one. This time we implanted 2 of our embryos. Doctor says 1 didn't take. Let's try 2. Give you, a little better odds of doing it. So we did the